While 2016 might not have been the best year overall, it was a great one for video games. There were so many good games that came out, so many in fact that I didn't even get to play a lot of the ones that I wanted to. Some of those games that I missed out on were Virginia, Super Hot, The Witness, and Doom. I'll probably get around to them eventually, but not for this top 10 list. Also, if you want to see the full reviews of the games listed, you can check out my website. It's on the screen and in the description down below. With that being said, I'm going to jump right into the list, starting with number 10. Gears of War 4 is a game that almost didn't make the list because of some lousy things the developers did. That being said, I really can't deny how much fun I had playing it. The game itself was a return to form for the franchise with a solid campaign and great multiplayer. The multiplayer is fast and fluid, and it's super fun once you learn the movement system. Mirror's Edge Catalyst is a game that has many flaws, and from a critical standpoint, I'd probably only give it about a 7.5. That being said, I had so much fun playing this game, and that's why it makes the list. The story and the combat were a bit lackluster, but the movement is impeccable. The races and online leaderboards kept me invested in it, and that's where I had the most fun. I played for hours and hours until I made it to the top 10 on the global leaderboards. Let's hope DICE can greatly improve upon this foundation in a better sequel. Titanfall II is a game that kinda got pushed under the radar due to EA's terrible release schedule. That's really a shame because the game ended up being a really good first-person shooter, and it was a great improvement over the original Titanfall. It included a really fun campaign, and it added a bit more depth to its multiplayer. Here's to hoping Respawn is able to make a third Titanfall, because I'd certainly be down to play. Battlefield 1 was the answer to many fans demanding a return to old-fashioned warfare. While the gameplay may not exactly be an accurate representation of World War I, it is still really fun to play. It sticks to the tried-and-true Battlefield formula while still adding some new features to keep it fresh. The new weapons feel great and the World War scenery is recreated beautifully. Battlefield 1 also features a fun single-player option, and it's a must-play for shooter fans. Let me start by saying that Uncharted 4 is definitely a bit overrated, but I still think it is a great game. The gameplay is pretty standard third-person shooting, but it works well. I was actually surprised with how much I ended up liking it. It handled its story and themes with a real sense of maturity that I wasn't expecting from a T-rated action game, and it looks pretty goddamn gorgeous.
Everyone out of the way!
Oxenfree is a sci-fi adventure game about a group of teenagers exploring a mysterious island. While that premise can easily turn out to be a horrible game, Oxenfree doesn't fall into this trap. In fact, it turns out to be a really good game. The story is a very engaging sci-fi mystery and the atmosphere is great. The choices you make in Oxenfree actually matter, and you can end up getting several different endings, including a secret ending. The dialogue system is one of the best I've seen in gaming, and the focus on character interaction helps give Oxenfree a real sense of humanity. This helps the game become more than just a creepy little mystery.
Does it hurt?
Inside is absolutely amazing. It manages to tell a dark and mysterious story without even saying a single word. The level design and world building do all the talking, and the level of detail is incredible, especially for a side-scroller. It's dark and disturbing, and it includes one of the weirdest, grossest sequences that I've ever seen, and I loved all of it. The secret ending and fan theories made me like the game even more. My best advice is to not look up anything about the game. Just go in and play through it. I thought Dishonored II was pretty damn incredible. Every mission was so fun and memorable, and the outstanding level design gave the player so many different ways to complete each mission. The option to play the game as one of 2 different characters adds even more ways to play, and this is certainly a game that I recommend playing through multiple times. The awesome art style and dark and disturbing atmosphere combine to create a really engaging game world, and this game is just damn fun to play.
And what are
Let me put this bluntly. Overwatch is my favorite first-person shooter ever. Every aspect of this game is near perfect, and the developer and community are constantly working to fix anything that isn't perfect. Every character is superbly crafted, and all the maps flow well and are open to a wide variety of gameplay. I spend so many hours playing this game, and I'm sure I'm going to spend even more as they release new maps and characters for free. A lot of people are complaining because Overwatch is multiplayer only, but I don't think that's a problem at all. In my opinion, I think the multiplayer is so goddamn amazing that I'm not at all disappointed about the lack of single player. Besides, it's not like it was falsely advertised or anything. No Man's Sky. Now, this may be surprising to some, but if you know me well, this shouldn't be a surprise at all. I absolutely loved every moment of Firewatch, and it's lodged itself into my memory. For those who don't know what the game is, Firewatch is a narrative-based adventure game about a man named Henry. He took a job as a fire lookout in order to get away from his past. The story is amazing, and I definitely think it was the best story of 2016. The narrative deals with some serious topics such as loss, love, loneliness, guilt, and fear in a very adult way. It also has some of the best writing and voice acting you will ever find in a game. It's funny because you never see any of the characters face to face, but you feel as though you really get to know them like they're real people. The visual art style is gorgeous, and the soundtrack sets the mood absolutely perfectly. The music is forever stuck in my head, and this is probably my favorite game soundtrack. Now, the biggest gripe people had was how it ended. I personally think the ending was perfect for the game. If you really think about it and you fully understand the game, it makes perfect sense to end the way it did. All in all though, Firewatch is a game that is forever stuck in my mind, and that's why I have to name it my favorite game of 2016.